breakfast puppies?
This podcast contains adult language and content and is meant for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The Glitterbois is listening to you are. Yes.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing our series on the Rifter with number 2. This is a very interesting one. The first one was, really incredible. We went over that last week.
Look at that cover.
It's got Brom himself doing the artwork. If you're not familiar with Brom, pick up a heavy metal. I think they still sell them in plaid pantries and whatnot.
He also does the cover of the Nightbane book, which is my favorite Palladium book. Just beautiful.
God, yeah.
Yeah, Brom's chins. He does chins like no other artist. Oh, man. And lips. Mm.
Okay, so we flip open this Rifter and we're immediately greeted by a Terminator that would make Arnold Schwarzenegger shit his pants.
Yep.
We have a CS robot and code flowing behind it. That's actually a really good picture, and I don't think it's a Long. I'm not sure who that is.
Well, it doesn't have it marked, but it does say that there's Kevin Long interior art, so it could be. Could be.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's nice work. Yeah, it just goes on to table of contents.
We'll look at the contents, and once again, these are the very nice, simple one-page table of contents in the early days of the Rifter. I love it. It's very, very basic stuff. Talks about the cover. It's titled Michael. I'm not quite sure who Michael is. I'd like to know the story there, but it's by a fellow named Brom. We've talked about how awesome he is. Lays out everything. Note that all of this is unofficial source material and what's coming next.
All right. And then it goes down and you have a scene from Scrapers and from the desk of Kevin Siembieda. Siembieda? God damn it. Keep doing that.
I love this section here because, it's a cool little picture there. That's just one of the standard repeated stock Beyond the Supernatural photos. But what I love is that he starts to address some hot topics here. How can you do this and keep the price low? That's neat stuff. But let's look at the killing weird rumors section.
Yes, please.
These are fucking great. First off, my favorite one right at the beginning. Kevin Siembieda is blind. What?
Wrong. I don't know where all these weird rumors are. There's another one that says he's left Palladium books and is working at a plastics factory.
What the fuck?
That's oddly specific. This one originated from a press release that goes back to April 1996 when we announced that the editor Kevin Kirsten, that's Kirsten, not Siembieda, left Palladium.
Just so you know, I started the company and I own it. Boom.
I like the product so much. I bought the company.
Bought by Wizards of the Coast? Yeah, that never happened.
I do like what he said, and I think he means it, though. I plan on writing role-playing games till I drop dead at the ripe old age of 210.
I'm down with that, Kevin. Keep it up.
Yeah, don't stop. There's this whole thing about GenCon in there, too, which I actually read the entire article. That's later. There's some that they say there's no feelings towards Wizards of the Coast, but I'm sensing a lot of feelings.
Well, I do know that they went to GenCon multiple times after this. So I think there was some kind of a dispute, and I guess they worked it out.
All right.
Next section, more Eric Wujcik wisdom talking about developing your ideas. This is just some good GM advice, mostly his just relating anecdotes from his previous games. It's good stuff. Like, if you're the kind of person who likes world building, this is good food for thought.
Yeah. And then we have my personal favorite, Knights of the Dinner Table. Yeah, I only read for the comics. In this one, they shift GMs, which is always fun.
Oh,
yeah. It never works out well for poor old Bob.
Never.
Got the news info, coming attractions. Is Mechanoids on here? Mechanoid Space?
Oh, it's probably somewhere. Let's see. Coming attractions. Heroes Unlimited. Cool. Scrapers. That came out. Old Kingdom books. Those never came out. I'm still upset about that. Rifts Russia, we got that. Warlords of Russia, we got that. I don't see anything about Mechanoid Space. That's a first. Wow.
What about the RPG Gamer's Bible?
Yeah, that never happened either. And it was supposed to be with, do you know the author?
I don't.
Sean Patrick Fannin. Do you know why that name is important?
Is that the same guy who was in the episode we just did?
Savage Rifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That's the man.
Now that's a long picture. 17. That's gotta be long.
Yeah, it's good. Whatever it is. No, that's Bro. It's right there in the middle. Yeah, Wayne Bro, 1998. It's on the not the cod piece. We'll say the abdomen piece.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, some of the early works that Wayne Bro did, it was hard for me to tell apart from some of Kevin Long's pieces.
Just those heavy inks. Yeah. Then there's Rift's Connection, Crossing Realities, Timelines, and Infinite Possibilities. This is actually the first bit of print that I've ever seen, which kind of talks about the trouble of real rifts. Like we talked about it a little in our Chaos Earth episode, that there is the background history of rifts is foggy.
Mm-hmm.
And this article dives into that.
Yeah, it actually does a good job of bridging the game's rifts and beyond the supernatural.
Yeah.
BTS has a background character, like a mentor of sorts, who, well, actually, he might already be dead. Old dead Nostradamus-like character named Victor Laszlo, who is referenced in many ways in the Rift setting. So it does a good job of talking about the parallels, and that's pretty cool stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a city, Laszlo and New Laszlo.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that goes on for, so that's an interesting bit of lore. And going on, you have a critter, the imp, supernatural rumor monger.
Yeah, you know, little fucking critter. There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
A little tiny demon. That's about it.
And then you have Palladium Pirates.
Yeah.
For the Palladium Fantasy world. And I'd like to point out, if you're not familiar with the Palladium Fantasy world, they have like this Mediterranean equivalent right in the middle of the world, an inner sea, you know, with islands and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Just perfect for a sea adventure. And where you have sea adventures, you're going to have pirates.
And the entire world is surrounded by ocean. So there's all kind of opportunities for high seas adventures in Palladium Fantasy. There's just a lot of good stuff here. It's a lot of mostly adventure inspiration. And the rare instances of Palladium having microstats for NPCs. You know, you got some generic pirates.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool stuff.
There's like, 10 little hooks there. And then they kind of cross into... Now, I had a question. Did Street Samurai come out around about this?
Oh, that's a good... Oh, no. Street Samurai was way before this. Are you talking about like Shadowrun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was like early 90s. I think Shadowrun first edition was like 1989 or 1990.
Because this hacking, cyberjacking, and supernatural data theft across the Megaverse.
Yeah. Yep. So it's and here we have that same image of the robot, but we get into all different kind of stuff of like hacking and rules. There's a lot of text here, folks. Like there's a lot here that I really don't think is necessary. It really should just be, if you want to hack, here's how it works. You'd roll this and they roll that and boom. There's multiple pages of unnecessary paragraphs. This kind of feels like filler, but it does go into like how different powers, like psionics, magic, and whatnot interact with cybernet or with the cyberspace.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say I like this because once again, Rifts is very much what you make of it. And if you want to play the lone cowboy, you know, defending the village, you can absolutely do that. And if you wanted a hacker game, well, all of a sudden you have 11 pages of freaking rules on how to pull that off.
I guess I'm just too burnt by Shadowrun, where hacking was so different from the core system that it became its own miniature one character dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, less words, please.
It has some Heroes Unlimited stuff next.
Yeah, the Atorian aliens and stuff. And yeah. And I was never much. Wait, no, this is all hacker stuff. All of this is hack. So
it's
wow.
still Rifts.
Okay.
It's just a crossover there.
Oh, no. It's different.
The Coalition Digital Reaper. It's OCCs.
Yeah, this is different hacker classes for different RPGs. I see.
Yeah.
Neat. The bionic hacker, and he's got a CD. Oh.
There's a net demon for Nightbane. Oh, he's cool. Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah.
49?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she?
She.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why she has mammalian eyeball titties, but you know.
What? She looks like an insect with titties. I don't.
Yeah.
That's like lizards with tits. Why?
And once again,
anyway,
we have a glorious compendium of contemporary weapons.
I think this is just an advertisement.
Yeah, but even their advertisement is good.
Because, something it has that Savage Rift doesn't. Pictures of the fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't need to know what a switchblade looks like, but it's cool. Show me.
Yeah, just put it in between like 6 guns. Oh, wait, they did. Okay.
God.
Yeah, you get into their sales portion there for a little bit.
But then we get to Wormwood. My favorite of all of the Palladium Dimension books. Wormwood needed more, and now it's time it delivers. Here we go. Blood shamans. Okay. You're like 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever. And you're having a conversation with your parents, and they're, trying to teach you the concepts of like life and the future and professions and jobs and careers. And you're like, what do you want to do when you grow up? You open Rifter number 2 and you say, I want to be a fucking blood shaman, Mom, because it's cool. Hell yeah.
This is actually, there's a lot more of this than there is on most characters in a book. This goes on for quite a few pages. You get a ton of spells to draw off of.
And this is something I love about Palladium magic. Let's look at page 58 of the Rifter number 2, bottom left. Here's a spell called Blood Jar. Blood Jar. When cast upon a sealable container, that container could now hold blood and stop it from spoiling. That's all the fucking spell does, because this is a universe where utility magic is useful. Where it's not every spell is doing damage to an opponent in combat. Thank you, fucking Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry. 3rd edition and later. 1st and 2nd ed has some cool spells. But
there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, it's all blood. Heart attack, the spell. Yes. All of this is some good stuff.
Eruption.
Yeah. This is why Wormwood is metal as fuck,
Carnivorous blood. Anyway, that goes on for pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, all the way to 64. And then you get to another advert for the same things you know about before. Warlords of Russia, Scrapers.
I still don't see Mechanoid Space.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But I do see Phase World.
But hey, here's something. Coming this summer for Rift's Dimension book, The Grand Paladins. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that
I've never
before.
heard of that.
Huh. Dear listener, if you've heard of the Grand Paladins, please let us know your thoughts on it. Anyway, we're going into Techno Wizards.
And quite a bit of Techno Wizards. They reuse some art from the original book.
Talk about Techno Wizard culture. That's a cool thing. Yeah.
Then they go into some variable OCCs, like the Combat Techno Wizard, the Texas Slinger, the Aviator version of the Techno Wizard, which I think is kind of cool. And he kind of reminds me of an orc from Warhammer. Yeah, the Gun Bunny.
Vamp Hunter, all kind of stuff. Yeah. Techno Wizard variants, love them. Oh,
I've never played a Techno Wizard, and I should do that someday.
I like the Ultimate Edition version of Techno Wizards because I think they have better rules for creating stuff, which I understand were actually started here in the Rifter, and then they adapted them into the Ultimate Edition later. But then we have a villain.
Yeah.
Seduced Techno Wizard. The Dark Path. We're
looking at like 30 pages here.
Yeah, there's a lot of Techno Wizard construction stuff by Jason Richards. Ooh, here's a note. Jason Richards would later go on to make a spin-off role-playing game based on Rifts called Breach World using the D6
We've talked
system.
about that, yeah.
And I fully plan on talking about the Breach World game because it's awesome. But then we got gear, new weapons.
Lots of gear, lots of weapons, lots of spells.
This is where I have to change my pants because it gets too excited.
Well, then at the end of it is where I change mine because then it's an advert for Robotech. Oh, Robotech.
God, seriously, there's like a little shitload of Techno Wizard stuff in here.
Yeah.
Techno Wizard missiles. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, and then Robotech. And, you know, he's like doing
Hey, don't let your voice drop like that.
I mean, that stance that robot is taking is, I think he changed his pants too, because he's got a, you know,
no, he's
got a raging cockpit going on there.
That nose cone is going places.
And then we close out with some fiction. We continue the Siege Against Tolkien and the Hammer of the Forge, both of which were stories that we established in Rifts number 1, which will be going on for some time.
Yeah. And then just more advertisements and
don't see any mention of Mechanoid Space. And
then we get to the back cover, and I think, is that second image down another Brom?
Oh, God, yes.
The Archer?
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Old Kingdom, the books they never made would have had a Brom cut. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's painful.
Oh, God, I love Brom's work so much. I didn't have my video on. Otherwise, you would have seen me French kissing my book. Brom... I love Brom. Brom was the artist for a significant portion of TSR's Dark Sun setting.
Yeah.
He did the cover for Palladium's Western Empire book. He did the cover for Nightbane. Brom.
Like, I knew him for his own work, not his commission stuff. Like his work in heavy metal.
Yeah.
The own stories that he told. And they were fucking magnificent. Just, I mean, yeah, just the scope of his work is amazing. He's up there with the brothers Hildebrandt. He's up there with like Richard Corbin and some of those other just great names in just fantasy and science fiction art. There's a level of detail to his work and a level of subtlety to the faces and the poses he does that just is unmatched anywhere else.
Seriously, like, I love the abdomens and torsos that he draws because they're not, they look like people, you know, even though they are muscular people, they still, like, he has a much better understanding of musculature than I think a lot of other artists do. And it just shows, especially in his faces, the bony structures of the skull.
With the exception of the chin.
Well, the chin.
Do you remember that McDonald's ad with the moon guy playing piano?
Oh, Mac Tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the chin that Brom uses.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so that was Rifter number 2. If you like this, let us know. We'll keep going with it.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to The Glitterbois, a Palladium Books fan podcast. Glitterbois, Rifts, the Megaverse, and all other such topics are the property of Kevin Siembieda and Palladium Books. Please buy all their stuff and help keep them in print and making more games. You can order directly at palladiumbooks.com, and their entire catalog is available digitally at Drive-Thru RPG as well. Our opening music is 8-Bit Bass and Lead by Furby Guy from freesound.org. This closing music is Caravana by Philip Gross, available at freemusicarchive.org. All sound effects used are self-made or acquired via Creative Commons 0 license. If you like what you have heard, find us on Twitter and Facebook as The Glitterbois. That's BOIS. And check us out online at breakfastpuppies.com/glitterbois. And also join us on the Breakfast Puppies Network Discord at breakfastpuppies.com/discord. And if you want to help us out, please spread the word and help us build a community. Thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next time.